Aloha, this is the Green Living Mr. T, and welcome to my gold medal guide video for endurance. This is going to be a little bit different because, honestly, there's really not much point in taking you through the entirety of all 100 waves. I'm just going to go over the basic stuff you need to know in order to get through it. If you know what you're doing, there really shouldn't be any grave concerns with this. Again, I recommend taking the Naboo Starfighter. The speed is excellent, the health is excellent, the firepower is good enough. It's everything you could want. I'm basically going to go through the first 10 waves and then just give my spiel for the rest of it and see if I can pull up any relevant footage I need for the rest of it. Basically, the idea is it's a test of endurance, of course. All you gotta do is shoot stuff. Alright, specifics. The first wave. This first wave is probably going to be different from all the other waves because a lot of the enemies are not going to be really bothering with like following you. They're just going to fly around in circles, so you're going to have to go deal with them. Every wave after this, all the fighters will kind of be gunning for you, and it'll be up to you to take them out. I believe I should have like pulled up the accuracy stuff and requirements. You're not really gonna have to worry about any of the requirements. The only one I had trouble with was enemy count, and that got fixed as soon as I developed the later strategy, which I wasn't using at first. I will get into that, but basically the only other concern really is just going to be accuracy, which I believe it requires 6% accuracy. And if you think about it in terms of how many shots actually makes like 6%, 5% is like 1 out of 20 shots needs to hit. So just think of it as like 1 in 19 shots need to hit. You have 18 shots that you're allowed to miss on between getting another hit in. It's really not going to be a big deal, and you can definitely just go to town with firing, like even like what I'm doing right now. Like that would have been fine. Like I wasted a ton of shots, but it's going to be accurate enough in the long run. As soon as you get through the first wave, you're gonna want to go to this strategy of driving out as far as you can, trying not to hit the edge of the map, which for the most part you can't. It's mixed. Sometimes you can see the edge of the map, judging by where it becomes just blackness. But sometimes you will reach the edge of the map, but you won't actually see that blackness. So just do your best with seeing the outer edge of the map. And you just want to kind of go far out, turn around, shoot them as they're far away, and then just rinse and repeat. By the way, the targeting efficiency for this mission is 0, so go ahead and use the targeting computer, or if you like doing it in the third-person view, just do that, whatever. But if you're doing the cockpit, you might as well have the targeting computer on to make them easier to spot from a distance. Okay. And when, like, shooting at the guys behind you, just go ahead and just fire as much as you need. You don't need to hold back, really. What I will say that is typically with a group of TIE fighters, which normally, will consist of 4 units, as long as one of them hasn't killed themselves. As soon as one gets hit, I don't even think it has to specifically be destroyed. Just getting hit, all the fighters in the group will start to kind of like move out and around to try and avoid getting shot after that. So when you see basically, you want to focus on getting at least one tie in each group, and then focus on a different group for best results. Alright, now that I'm not, like, in the middle of the map, I can actually talk about this part. Basically, at the start of the map, as you want to be at least not in the center. If you are, you just want to, like, kind of slow down. I recommend aiming for the bottom tie of each group as best you can, because there is a little bit of auto aim correct when you're pointing your ship at a target. Just firing the gun, it'll try to adjust a little bit to try and hit the target without you needing to move. It's a little iffy when there's multiple targets on your targeting reticle, basically. The game kind of gets a little bit confused on which one it wants to auto aim at, and it just, so, like, shooting in the middle can result in you shooting at none of them. Of course, that makes complete sense. Shooting at any of the other ones, the shots tend to miss anyways, because they're aiming at trying to adjust for the other TIE fighters, not the one you're actually trying to shoot at. The bottom one just works best. So, let's see, other things I can talk about. The other strategy that I'm going to tell you guys about and show off later, it lets you destroy the it lets the TIE fighters destroy themselves. It's basically just driving around in circles. You don't want to do that unless you're already sure that you've got your kills already accounted for. You're probably gonna, with this strategy I'm showing you right now, you're probably gonna have a leeway of around 300 to 400 extra kills as opposed to the other strat I will show later. But you can definitely do it once you get, like, past wave 50 if you need to, or if you're just waiting around for your health to recover. You want to keep an eye on your health at all times, basically. And you don't want to lose your astromech, because if you lose your astromech, you're not getting it back until you lose a life. And you can always wait out to get your health back instead of taking the amount of damage that would cause you to lose your astromech. It's just not worth. Okay. I'll also mention that in cases where you're turning around and you've already shot all the different groups and they've all already scattered, and you have room behind you, you can just turn right back around and just keep going to keep your distance, so you don't have to get it back by flying past them. That's another little tip. Unless I can think of more, I'm probably going to skip ahead now to, I don't know, wave 5. It's technically like wave 6. It's waves destroyed, not current wave. That always threw me off. Anyways, anytime you feel like your shields are getting close to going down, definitely just duck out and stop approaching them. Fly away from them until you get your shield back. And you can do the circle thing as long as you don't abuse it, like I did the first time. Sad day. I haven't really talked much about ace mode, but I will mention the fact that the game does want you to do ace mode all the way to wave 100 again. So on that one, there are no requirements other than just surviving. So the circle strategy, you know, I should just do it. I'm not actually trying to get gold. Here, for this wave, I'll show the circle strategy. You just kind of you can just watch your radar in order to do this, and just kind of just do a slight movement either to the left or right and just fly in circles and wait a little bit. Soon you'll start hearing tons of TIE fighters just blowing up. Like, there you go, now I can hear them. They're either flying into each other or accidentally shooting each other. It's brilliant. And mainly, the only reason to watch the radar is one, just to watch the carnage, because it's quite fun. You can usually get them down to like 4 or 6 remaining before you start actually having to deal with them yourself. But also to see if any of them wind up in front of you, because the main way to die here, other than getting shot enough so that you lose your astromech, is simply crashing into another ship, and watching a radar will help see when a ship is about to come right in front of you, so you can try and avoid it. As you can see, there's like 3 left. Yeah, there's like 3 left. So now I can definitely turn around and then deal with them easily. Wow, they managed to kill each other. Amazing. If you're using the ship I've got, which means you have like proton torpedoes or just, well, anything, concussion missiles, anything, whatever you've got. Nothing really changes when they're advanced types. They're just harder to kill because they've got more health is all. I'd say just don't use them, I guess. They're great for like Darth Vader at wave 100, and on top of that, you can just use them if you lose your astromech. You can't use them, of course, if you end up getting blow up. The only other thing I would recommend using them for is after wave 50, when the TIE fighters get the ability to basically do laps around you, and you have 1 remaining. I would just use it just to get the wave done. The idea is you want to get this done as fast as possible without losing any of the requirements, of course. And the only thing I'd say you should be worried about is the enemy count if you're doing the strategy I'm talking about right here. I mean, don't obviously just start shooting when there's nothing in front of you, but you should be fine otherwise. Okay, what else is there? Oh yeah, the difference between the waves. Every 10 waves, the enemy ships will kind of get like a little boost to their AI, so that they aim a little bit better, and they can make crazier turns. Mainly the crazier turns thing. That is like why I keep mentioning wave 50, because that's when they can that's when they gain the ability to drive circles around you, and it's awful. Sometimes you'll just have this one ship left, and you can always just drive forward for a long distance and then turn around to get the final kill. But that takes time, and sometimes you just want to use a proton torpedo or something similar. Just take them out right away. Just do it. If you're getting a ship that's being that annoying, just do it and save yourself the headache. You're gonna be here for a while. That's another thing worth mentioning. Either like when you're doing the straightaways, sometimes it's gonna be worth just to get up and like stretch your legs. Or if you just want to wait until like a certain amount of waves to get up and take a break, just take breaks while doing this. Don't sit in your chair for basically 3 to 4 hours. It's not worth. I kind of don't really appreciate the existence of endurance mode. In case you hadn't figured out. I don't feel like they put too much thought into its existence. It just exists and you have to deal with it, so whatever. I think I will skip ahead now. I think I've talked about anything that I would have wanted to talk about. I'll see you at the 10th wave.
Next wave incoming. Ready? Begin.
I sense fear in you. Feel the power of the dark side. Impressive. Most impressive. If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Okay, I'm about to hit the 10th wave.
Next wave incoming. Ready?
So, you consider every 10th wave a break, except for the final one, which is just the end anyway, so it practically is its own break. It's going to give you these Imperial shuttles of which to shoot at, and my only advice for these is just don't approach them from the front. The only way they're going to kill you is if they accidentally run into you, and they're not going to do that if you approach them from behind, so just don't approach them from the front, and you'll never have to worry about dying to them. These are pretty embarrassing ships to die to, and I've done it like twice. Just from accidentally... Just there's no reason to get yourself killed. There just isn't. These things are jokes. They are a little bit awkward to shoot, because like the little autocorrect aiming thing that I told you about before, it kind of corrects it to the center of the ship, which is like a tiny bit below it or something. Like often your shots will go under the ship, so you have to aim a little bit higher than you think.
Begin.
So the only other thing worth mentioning is that if you do get to the point where your astromech is asking for you to repair, there's a glitch that happens with that. I think it has something to do with the fact that the game, they wanted you to be able to make repairs multiple times within one life or something. I don't know. But it'll glitch out, and it'll just keep on displaying on the screen and showing the direction you chose. It's fine. It's not broken. Well, it is broken. It's bugged. But it will fix itself when it asks you again if you want to repair your ship. I'm basically done showing off everything else. Yes. Also, another thing worth mentioning, you want to pick a ship that has an astromech. I know I told you could pick a ship, but it's got to have an astromech because you need the endurance. You cannot take the Falcon. You only have the Imperial ship, the Advanced TIE Fighter, if you've gold medaled this, so you won't have that for golding this. And then Jango's Fett. Or Boba Fett. It's technically Boba Fett's a slave one. You can't use that ship because, again, they really did not test this thing, and it'll be stuck in the ground. It's quite hilarious. I just get to show that off just for laughs, but that is basically it for my guide medals for the gold medals. I'm not gonna do any guide medals for the ace medals, because if you can do the gold medals stuff for ace mode, or to unlock ace mode, you can just do ace mode. You have the skills necessary to do it. As you can see, you can't use the slave one. They didn't realize that the ship starts inside the ground. It's so bad. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my guide videos and that they were useful. I don't have anything else to say, really. If I see anything that I think it needs a guide video, I'll make it. If not, I won't make any more. Who knows? Hope you enjoyed. Aloha.